This is Irontrader. It is the last call of the day. So we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, at gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas. And then we'll take a look here at the indexes, which are kind of mixed there today. Okay, at the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted for crude and natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell, stock market, ETF. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have Bitcoin daily and weekly chart. And I can see here, I pointed out this morning, if you watch the video, there was a big topping tail yesterday. I sold half of that BITX into it, and then I sold the rest of it today at, it got as high as 64.91. I didn't get that, but I got 64.60 out of it. So that was actually a very, very good trade. Now what I'm watching here is going to be today's candles, okay? So we're looking at that downside. We're looking at 116.90. That's going to be key. And then what we'll do is we'll be looking right to the bottom of this candle here at 115.60.35 because that is the gap. And then we look to the top of this candle for the fill at 114.380. And then we'll be looking for that 8-day at 113.565. Now, when this price gets out of these price channels, see these blue lines? These are just price channels. When the price gets out of there, it wants to come right back in and it wants to get towards that 8-day, okay? So, again, if you just look in the past here, you can see how it got outside the price channels and then it comes right back in. Outside and then it comes back in. Outside and then it wants to come back in. That's the same thing that's happening here. We had a topping tail yesterday and now we had a big ass red candle today. So again, just watch today's low, 116.90. Watch this gap. That's going to be carry 115.60.35 and then at 114.380. That's the top of that candle. And then we have 113.556 level. Okay. Now, obviously, if we lose that, we had the 21-day sitting here and we had the 50-day sitting there. Okay. But right now here, we'll just see how this all shakes out. Now, upside, we want to watch yesterday's low. You look at 118.675, and then we want to watch the top of that candle, 119.450, and then we look to today's high at 120.695, and then obviously a retest at 123.615 level. Okay, so they're voting on the big crypto bill this week, so we got to see how Bitcoin and stablecoin and all that works out here. Okay, now. We got to an overbought condition. Now she's pulling back here. But again, just watch today's low. That's going to be very, very key. And this 8-day. Now, if the price comes out to this 8-day, that'd be a pretty good buying opportunity. If it holds it, we could take this thing right back up again. Because usually when you have these topping tails, what happens is it wants to retest it. Okay. Now, here's an example of what I'm talking about. Okay. So we came right up here, put a little topping tail in, came all the way down, and then try to retest it. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to go right back to the high again. But again, it retested it. And, you could retest it, and then we can see what happens at that hair time. Now, again, we close above that 123.615. Then your next target is to be 125.5. Okay? Now, you can see here on weekly, but this is only Tuesday. You can see that big red candle there, that topping tail candle. So we're looking here, at least we want to do is we want to hold it by the Friday of this 112.345 level and that 109.86 level. That would be very good. Now, you can see here on this RSI on the weekly here, we got to that overbought. We're pulling back a little bit, but your green is still over your red here. Let's just see how this all going to shake out here. Okay, so bottom line here, watch the gap, watch the fill, watch the 8-day downside, upside today's high. And then we can come all the way up here to this 123.615 level. Okay, let's take a look here now at gold and silver. Okay, here we have the gold, here we have the silver. Now, I didn't take any trades in either one of these here today. Here we had this nice candle. We closed above the 21-day, but then you notice yesterday it just didn't seem like they have any kind of a momentum, any kind of a juice to go higher. And then today we made a lower low and a lower high. That's not good, okay? However, we are holding this 8-day so far, 33.38, and we are holding that 50-day, so that's always good. Now, again, if that's lost, then what we want to do is we want to come to the bottom of this candle, 33.19. We'll come down here at 32.95, and we'll come down to the bottom there, 32.90, and then we just follow the candles. 32.66, and then your retest there is at 32.50 level, and then we have a whole 100-day here sitting at 32.15. But right now we're holding this here, just sideways kind of an action. Okay, now upside here we're playing that ping pong. So basically what you want to do is 33.55. That's at 21-day. Then we look to today's high, 33.75, and then we look to yesterday's high, 33.89. Then we have a lot of good resistant levels up here at 34.13, say 34.27, 34.68. But really, your target's going to be retesting that 34.76. Then we have to see what their decision is and when it gets there. Does it break through, or does it come right back down again here, or what is the reaction going to be? Okay, if it breaks through, here's your target, 35.09. We crack that, 35.50, 3600 is what your target's going to be. Now, we're sitting here at 48. That's not overbought or oversold. Same thing here. We got like a sideways action. So right now here, for me, there's no trade. Yesterday I was thinking about taking that gold trade, but it just didn't seem like it had any kind of a juice to go higher. Okay, so I always put the daily chart up there, and then I'll use a tick chart or 1 minute and a 5 minute to trade, and I could just see that there was just no momentum there to take it higher there. So I said, well, risk reward, the trade just isn't there. Okay, now we have silver. Well, we were holding this 21-day really good, got above the 8-day. We had this breakout, okay? So this was actually where I just took a shot at it because we closed above that 37.40 last Friday. I took the trade off. I didn't want to go into the weekend. Could have made a little bit more, but again, we had this high, and now look over here. We have this lower high and lower low, not good, okay? So what we're really watching is this 8-day at 37.59. We lose that, we're going to come right down and retest that 36.85 level again, and we'll see if it holds. But again, give that 21-day the benefit of the doubt. The simple reason is, how many times has it held it in the past? Doesn't mean that it comes down, it doesn't hold it again. Okay, got to an overbought condition. Now she's coming right back down again. We got sideways action. So right now, let's just see how this all going to shake out here. This is all based on, on what they're going to do with the tariffs and everything. I always looked at gold and silver almost like a fear factor. If there's like a big thing in the market, then gold rallies up here, or it follows like the VIX kind of a situation. But right now, I just don't see. For me, if I'm looking to trade this, then I'd be looking here for the breakout level, okay? Now, on the upside here, where we're looking at is the bottom of that candle. You're looking at 38.35. We look at today's high at 38.74, and we'll come to the top here, 39.22, and then 39.57. That's going to be your big retest there on the top. And then we have to see once it breaks above that, you're looking at 40, 42, and then 45 is your targets there on the upside. Okay, so let's just see how this takes out. So when those futures open at 6, we want to watch today's candle, the high, the low, and the close. That's the same way with gold, the high, the low, and the close, and we'll trade against that. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil and natural gas. Okay, here we have crude oil, here we have natural gas. Okay, now OPEC came out there today, and they're seeing maybe a possible better half of the year. The problem is that you're being seasonality then, so I don't know if I really see that. The tariffs are taking off here, and you can see where the inflation is starting to creep up here a little bit. So you got to be really, really careful here. They want the Fed to cut rates, and I don't agree with that. The Fed has to be a separate entity, and I just say you just can't be cutting rates just to cut rates because the T-man wants it. You gotta lose your whole head here, because if you do have issues down the road, then you can cut rates there accordingly. But if your rates are right down to zero, well, what are you going to cut? You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. What kind of leverage, what kind of tools you have going forward, okay? So that's what you have to look at. But right now here, crude oil here is looking, this 200-day, look how strong that is, okay? 68.36, okay? So we went into it, popped above. We had a little closing here, okay? It was a good, nice little trade there on the UCO. But then again, when that came down, this was a good trade on the SCO, okay? So that's what we're looking at right now is today's low is we made a lower low and a lower high situation. So what we're looking at is the downside. Look at today's low, 66.22. Then we have 100-day, 65.31. 50-day, 64.70, and then retest there at 64, okay? That's what we're looking for there on the downside. Upside, very easy. 67.58, there's your 8-day, your 21-day, 68.18, and then your 200-day sitting at 68.36. You get above that, obviously, we're going to be looking for yesterday's high, 69.65 level, and then we can just venture right on up. Bottom candle, 71.33, bottom candle, 72.32, top candle, 73.90, 74.27, and so on until we reach your 78.40 level here. But right now we have the sideways action, but it looks like your 8 days rolling over, your 21 days rolling over. Your 21-day never crossed above that 200-day, okay? So again, we got to see how this all shakes out. But remember, the market is very, very well supplied, so it's going to take some kind of a catalyst to take oil. Now again, if you have a strong hurricane season, that can take have some kind of a disruption. You have a war that can take crude up higher, no question about it. But really, regular right now, supply and demand, especially when OPEC is pumping out more oil on the market here, it's just not going to be good. In the U.S., you're pumping over 13 million barrels a day. It's very well supplied for what's going on. Okay, so just remember that. I just think that eventually over time, this is going to go down lower, and I think we're going to be testing that 55 level here again. Okay. Now, Natgas was actually a really nice trade today in the UNG. Okay, so scalped a little bit on the UNG. It got as low as 15.50. I didn't get that. And then it got as high as 15.70. All I was looking for was a 40 cents, and that's what I got, my 40 cents, 5,000 shares. Great trading day here on the old Natgas. Okay, now, One reason I took that is because I was watching, first of all, this 8-day on 3.38, and I was watching yesterday's candle, which came down to 3.38. Now, today we made a higher low at 3.4, and that's always a good. That's when you see that, that's good. And then you can see where it went above that 200-day. You'd make a quick real trade here, and then I get out of the trade. I have no position right now in the natural gas. I have a short going here on the crude, and I have nothing in natural gas because I just day trade this. Now, you can see where it went right into the 50-day, okay? 3.53, okay? Your next level is going to be the 21-day at 3.54. Now, we get above that. We look right to the top there. You're looking at 357, and then 367 is going to be your 100-day. Then we can come up to the top of that candle at roughly 375, and then we have 384. But again, we have to close above 50, 21-day, and your 100-day in order to get that, okay? So for me, and how we trade on the site is one level at a time, okay? So it goes right in here. It goes into the 50-day, smashes in, boom, I'm out of the trade, okay? If it goes up higher, I can always buy it back and take it back up. I could be an in and out in trade in less than 15 seconds. So it's really no issue, okay? So we're looking here at 51 here. That's got a lot of room to go to the upside, and your green is circling over your red. Now, I've been pointing out here how these topping tails work, then they come all the way on down. Now, we were in a downtrend situation where we've got high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Now, and below that 8-day. Now we reverse that, and now we are back above. We broke that downtrend, and now we're back above, and look at the 8 days flattening out here, okay? So right now on the upside, just watch that 50-day, 21-day. Okay, we close above that and get above that area. We're going to be looking for that 100-day at 376 and probably a retest of that 375, 76 area. Okay, downside right there, 343. We're watching that 200-day. We're watching the 8-day. We lose that. We're going to come to the bottom of this candle, 329. We look here, 319, and then 314 is the retest. So right now here, I'm going to be trading against this candle, see what's going to happen. If it can't get through this, then it might be a short all the way back down again. If it can get through this, I can jump right back into UNG and take it to the old Hondo. Okay, let's take a look here now at the old indexes. Okay, now the Dow had a good a day yesterday. We had a green candle, but if you look at this chart here, okay, we had a nice green candle yesterday, but where did it go? Right into that 8-day simple moving average, okay? Today, got a little bit above it, couldn't get through it, and then she's coming right on off. See, this is why you trade the charts, okay? So right now on the upside, there you go, 44445. That's what we want to watch, okay? We get above that level. We come up here, 44556. We'll come on top of this candle, 44775, and then we have your retest up there at 44885 level, okay? Downside here, we watch today's low, okay, 4468. We lose that here. Basically, we can follow the candles down. They're looking at 4389 level. But realistically, looking for this 21-day. That's going to be key. That's the catch-all. We lose that. We have a gap, okay, right down here, 42794. We have that fill. 4269. We have the 200-day, and we have that 50-day all sitting right on there, okay? But we got to an overbought condition, and now you can see where you're coming off situation, and it's having a hell of a time here, hard time around this 8-day, okay? So you can see how it held it, and then when it got to be held below it, see, it can't get through. That's the key. It's like a brick wall. That's why you trade the charts, okay? Now, here we have the old S&P. Now, you can see the S&P here. We made a little bit higher high, 6290 you're looking for. You made 6302. Couldn't hold it, and now it came back, and it's holding that 8-day. If this is lost here, yeah, we can come to the bottom of this candle here, 6201. But really looking for that 6150 level. Then we're looking for this gap here, 6059. We're looking for that fill, 6028. And then we're looking for the old 8-day, or 50-day at 5990. And a possible retest there at 5943 level, okay? But right now here, we're just trading this range between the 8-day and that price channel of that 6290. Because even though it popped up, it could not hold it. Now, NASDAQ is doing a little bit better there today. We had a nice pop up there, basically because of NVIDIA. NVIDIA and AMD, they're going to be able to sell their chips again in China. I'm long NVIDIA. I don't have no trade on AMD, but I'm long NVIDIA. I'm long TQQs, which is a basket of all the good stuff, okay? So on the downside, what you want to do is watch that 2672. That's your price channel. Right below it, 583 level. Okay, we get below that, we come right to the bottom there. You're looking at 2323 level. We come here looking at 2181, but realistically, 20,152. That 21-day is what you're looking for. And then we look for this gap right here, okay? We look for the fill, and then we're looking for that 50-day, okay? Upside, well, this could go anywhere. So now what we're looking for is that retest of that 2836. but we are here at nosebleed areas. Okay, so it'll be a matter of time. Right now, usually in this time of the year, you still got just sideways action, probably August here. But again, you know, when this does come off, it's going to come off extremely hard. So you always got to watch in August, September, October, that area there where you can have a big correction. But don't look at it as a correction. Look at it as a buying opportunity. Now, again, if you're a short seller, then yes, you can make money on the way down. When this is all going to fall apart here, and it will fall apart. Okay, nothing goes up forever. But again, if you're just a long trader, wait for the opportunity. Let it come back to you here, just like we had down here, okay? So when we look at these charts here on a big picture, you can see here where we got, see this oversold? See this oversold, okay? See oversold conditions? That is your buying opportunity. So when this comes off here, this is what you're looking for on the RSI, is these oversold conditions. That way you get in, we run that bad boy right up to the end of the year. Okay, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here tomorrow morning, and we'll do it all over again. Trade what's in front of you, not what you want.